As the Mononoke lecture logs of Chuzenji sensei continues to carve its niche in the spring 2025 anime season, Episode 3, titled The Man in the Blue Cloak, deepens the series' blend of supernatural mystery and historical introspection. Set in post-war Tokyo in 1948, this adaptation of Aki Shimizu's manga, rooted in Natsuhiko Kayagaku's Rasen Cruz novels, follows high school student Kana Kusakabe and her enigmatic teacher, Akihiko Chuzenji, as they untangle eerie phenomena. This episode shifts gears, introducing a darker, more complex mystery that hints at societal undercurrents, leaving me both intrigued and contemplative. While not without flaws, Episode 3's atmospheric storytelling and character dynamics make it a compelling chapter, though I think it stumbles in pacing and resolution clarity. In this review, I will dive into a comprehensive analysis of the episode's plot, characters, themes, technical execution, and emotional resonance, unpacking what makes it tick and where it falters. Episode 3 centers on Kana's investigation into a chilling rumor at her school about a figure in a blue cloak, allegedly carrying dismembered body parts. The mystery begins when a classmate, shaken by a sighting, seeks Kana's help, thrusting her into her growing role as a paranormal detective. While gossiping about Minagi Reiko, a noblewoman who married her former butler, Kana stumbles upon a lost purse stuffed with cash, linking her to the cloaked figure. With Chuzenji sensei's guidance and the aid of Officer Kiba, a local policeman, Kana uncovers a web of theft and deception tied to post-war societal shifts. The episode resolves the mystery but leaves lingering questions about Chuzenji's past and Kana's evolving partnership with him. I really appreciate how Episode 3 advances the overarching narrative by solidifying Kana's role as a detective figure, a trajectory established in the premiere. Unlike the prior episodes, which leaned on misunderstandings to explain supernatural phenomena, this installment introduces an actual crime, a theft ring exploiting post-war chaos. The revelation that the man in the blue cloak is tied to a scheme involving stolen goods is a clever twist, grounding the supernatural in human greed. This shift feels like a turning point, suggesting the series is willing to explore darker, more grounded mysteries alongside its ghostly trappings. However, I'm not entirely convinced the episode fulfills its role within the arc as effectively as it could. While it raises intriguing questions about Chuzenji's wartime experiences and his cryptic reluctance to fully engage with Kana's investigations, it resolves the central mystery too abruptly. The pacing feels uneven, rushing through the investigation's climax while lingering on schoolyard gossip. I personally don't understand why the writers didn't allocate more time to Kana's sleuthing process, as the quick resolution undercuts the suspense. Still, I anticipate the seeds planted here, particularly about Chuzenji's past, will bear fruit in future episodes. Kana remains the heart of the episode, and I love how her boundless energy injects life into what could have been a dour mystery. Her determination to help her classmate reveals a growing confidence, though her impulsiveness, chasing the cloaked figure alone, highlights her inexperience. I think this balance of pluck and vulnerability makes her relatable, and her interactions with Chuzenji showcase a dynamic that's equal parts mentor-student and begrudging partnership. Chuzenji himself is a fascinating enigma. His sharp intellect and subtle fondness for Kana, as noted by Officer Kiba, add depth to his stern facade. A fleeting mention of his time in Okinawa during the war intrigued me, but I didn't like how the episode teased this without exploring it further. Officer Kiba, a new addition, serves as a grounded counterpoint to Chuzenji's aloofness, and his pragmatic approach to the case fleshes out the world's law enforcement dynamic. However, I'm against the underdevelopment of secondary characters like Minagi Reiko, whose backstory feels more like a plot device than a lived-in narrative. The episode uses her story to reflect on how the dissolution of aristocratic privileges reshaped personal and social identities, a theme that feels timely even in 1948's context. The mystery itself, centered on theft and deception, underscores a loss of communal trust, with the blue cloak rumor amplifying collective paranoia. I also appreciate how the episode subtly probes the intersection of perception and reality, a recurring motif in the series. Chuzenji's explanation of the cloaked figure as a product of fear and misidentification echoes his earlier musings on the human mind's role in creating Mononoke. Yet, I don't think the episode fully capitalizes on this theme, as the crime's resolution feels too tidy to provoke deeper reflection. Still, these ideas elevate the narrative beyond a simple whodunit, and I'm eager to see how they evolve. The episode enriches the series' world by grounding it in post-war Tokyo's socio-economic realities. I was struck by the depiction of a society in flux, nobles losing status, entrepreneurs rising, and petty crime flourishing amid recovery efforts. The mention of historical details, like the stripping of noble privileges, adds authenticity, and I think it's a testament to the show's research that these elements feel seamless. I really enjoyed the exchange where Kiba teases Chuzenji about his fondness for Kanna. It felt organic and humanizing. However, I didn't like the occasional reliance on expository dialogue to wrap up the mystery, which felt like a shortcut. The writing overall is sharp, but I think tighter editing could have made the resolution less rushed and more impactful. Under 100 Studios' production, the animation remains a standout. The fluidity of Kanna's chase through Tokyo streets is thrilling, with dynamic camera work enhancing the tension. The art style, faithful to Shimizu's manga, captures the Showa-era aesthetic with muted earth tones and detailed backgrounds. Think bustling markets and shadowy alleys. I was particularly impressed by a visually striking moment where the blue cloak flutters against a moonlit sky, a haunting image that lingers. However, I noticed minor inconsistencies in background character designs, which briefly broke immersion. Overall, the visual quality is high, reinforcing the series' historical vibe. Episode 3 of the Mononoke lecture logs of Chuzenji sensei is a strong, if imperfect, addition to the series, blending supernatural intrigue with post-war realism. Its strengths lie in its vibrant characters, atmospheric visuals, and thematic depth, particularly in exploring societal change and human perception. Kanna's growth and Chuzenji's enigmatic presence keep me invested, while the historical setting adds richness. However, I didn't like the uneven pacing and rushed resolution, which dulled the mystery's impact. I also think the secondary characters deserve more development to match the lead's compelling dynamic. Overall, I believe the episode achieves its goal of advancing Kanna's detective arc and deepening the world, but it falls short of perfection due to structural hiccups. I anticipate the series will build on the hints about Chuzenji's past and Kanna's evolving role, potentially delivering richer mysteries ahead. For fans of psychological and historical anime, Episode 3 is a captivating watch that, despite its flaws, keeps me eager for more.